from East Town. CT, Danny Liff, and Julian boy. We up right now, locking up your Saturday. Tell your bookie send my payment. Lot of opinions, but we only care about one statement. It's Boston Eddie Cappers, yeah. It's Boston Eddie Cappers, yeah. It's Boston Eddie Cappers, yeah.
Welcome into the Boston Handicappers podcast. I guess live show today. Nice Monday opener here, February 16th. I'm your host, Dan Lifshatz, here with my two partners in crime, CT Bets. CT, what's going on?
Dan, Bopper, Jules, good to be back here in the saddle. Kind of took a week hiatus from the shows after the Super Bowl, and it's good to be back in here and talking college hardwood. I kind of had this idea yesterday and threw it on you guys. I said, let's talk big Monday games and some Tuesday games and have a short little quick show. I think it's a good night to do it.
And of course, joining us from DK Network, the big guy himself, Mr. Information, JE National, Julian Edlow. Jules, what's going on?
Yeah, well, this is my favorite time of the year, like mid-February through March Madness, because we kind of know what these college basketball teams are. And you start to get into a little bit of a rhythm. So I am excited about where we're going, especially with that non-competitive Super Bowl in the rear view. The Patriots were about as competitive as Dan entering a triathlon or a marathon or something in the Super Bowl. It did not go very well.
About as competitive as Julian entering a How Rich Are You contest. It's about the same. I
would finish pretty low on that.
I would finish probably dead last on the triathlon, so to each their own. But either way, yeah, not the best Super Bowl. I did do pretty well in the props, gave out a nice prop sheet. Did do well, obviously. Patriots losing, pretty shitty for all of us here who are Patriots fans. Not surprised, but
as a bettor, not even as a fan, I actually like the game. And how dumb do I look right now?
Well, at some point, the schedule had to catch up. It caught up. We are where we are, but it's we had a good football season. We'll do the recap coming up in the next couple of weeks here, but it's college basketball. We'll recap everything we did in college football or college football, NFL. I got to get to all the records and do all that stuff, but we're going to get to some college basketball games tonight, baby. We have a couple big ones tonight on this President's Day Monday. We'll also talk about the Tuesday opening lines for tomorrow night as well. I did not get to write them in here. Unfortunately, not enough time. I wasn't feeling super great today. I had a little stuff, but whatever. We have our guy Titan CT checking in. Evening, fellas. Titan CT, what's going on? But let's start with this game that tips off in less than 30 minutes. Syracuse on the road in Durham, North Carolina, taking on Duke. Right now, Duke a 20.5 point favorite, guys. A big one. Right now, total sitting 145.5. CT, I'll start with you on this one. That rotation number, by the way, let me see if I can even find the rotation number right now. 875, 876. What are you thinking in this one, CT? I saw you give out a bet in this one. How you feeling with the current number right now?
Yeah, so if you follow me on Twitter or X at CTBet16, I gave out a play this morning here. Played Duke minus 19. I'd feel comfortable if you could find the 20 out there. I'm way off here, Bopper. Curious to see what you made the game. I made the game 24.
Okay.
And this game kind of reminds me a little bit. I think it was a big Monday game a couple weeks ago when UNC played Syracuse, right? And UNC was up 30, blowing their doors in. And then that was kind of that second half or that last 10 minutes that everybody was going nuts on social media saying that it looked like Carolina threw the game. They were throwing the ball into the stands. Some weird shit was happening, and Cuse came back and they somehow covered that number. I don't think that's going to be the case this year or tonight. I expect Duke to get up pretty big here, hence the number. And I don't see them letting up. And I don't care that Michigan's on deck here. Cuse is a team that, they have some talent, but their coach has really, I think, struggled with the talent that they have, and he's not going to be the coach. Autry will not be the coach of Syracuse next year. They'll be moving past him. Dan, I think this is one of the best Duke teams that we've seen in a while here. And that's even looking at last year's team. I think what you're getting at, these are the best players in the country that Shire's getting year in and year out. And this is a game where I think that they're going to put the pedal to the metal here, getting ready for Saturday and how tough of a game that's going to be in DC playing Michigan. Boozer has just been an absolute beast, and the role players are they're doing their thing for this Duke team, and it's kind of all coming together here. Actually kind of like them on Saturday versus Clemson. Didn't get to the window there. Was a little surprised that wasn't a bigger win than it was for them, but I think we see doors blown here. Big Monday in Cameron versus a Syracuse team that's just got a lot of problems right now. I think you're going to see a lot of 3 balls go in the bucket for Duke, and they're just going to take it to a far less superior team here. I think that you're kind of getting a little bit of I know it sounds crazy, Dan. I'm going to use the word discount because Syracuse is coming off two wins against kind of a couple mediocre ACC teams, and everybody's seeing, oh, wow, you could catch Syracuse getting a huge number here with Duke looking ahead to Michigan. I don't think that's the case tonight. Duke blows doors. So Duke minus 19 is a play if you caught it. And if you're still looking for some action, I'd be comfortable with 20.
Okay. All right, Jules, over to you on this one.
Yeah, I don't have a play on the game. I agree with CT, though. Syracuse, for the most part, is a fade. I almost came around on playing Cal plus 6.5 at the Dome on Saturday. And I'm glad I didn't, because that would have been frustrating. It went to, I think that was a double overtime 7-point Syracuse win. I don't have it in front of me, but I mean, that's a tough way to lose, catching 6.5, battling through that whole thing through double overtime. But Syracuse is just kind of a mess. I faded them the game prior to that. I don't remember who they were playing. So Syracuse, I think the last time I bet them was when FSU came up to Syracuse, and it took them a while to, break that one open against a really bad FSU team. So Cuse is pretty much a team I'm either looking to go against or pass. And I'm going to leave things be tonight. But if I bet the game, I would only side with CT and lay it with Duke.
All right, we've got a couple comments here coming in. Next year's slate pretty tough. Hopefully all the idiots will stop saying we don't play anyone. Well, we'll talk about that. Let's get it, boys. Can't wait for Encore and Dan yelling. Yes, we will be at Encore, I think, sometime in March. I have to check the actual date again. Took a little Lipsy Cyclone today. We'll talk about that. Evening, boys. Thanks for all you do. And sounds like CT likes Dookie in Michigan. Well, he definitely likes Duke. No doubt about that. So I don't have a ton today. I did make one bet on the slate tonight. It's not in this game. I made the number 22-ish, so I do think there's a little bit left on the bone for Duke. But yeah, I do agree. I think the number. I still people think they're a little bit. People are a little bit short on this Duke team compared to what they've been in the past. I think this Duke team is actually pretty damn good. So I'm a little bit surprised about how people feel about this team. Numbers a little short here. Nothing I love, at least in this one. But I would be on the Duke side if I had to. Let's go over to the other big.
I want to add in too. Sorry. I feel like if Duke gets out to a slow start, you might be able to get a decent second half number. Because I think that's when they pull away and blow doors. So just keep an eye out for that if you're watching the game. Yeah,
we are seeing that number, by the way, head to 21 right now at Caesars, and looks like getting up to 21 or getting close to 21 at Circa too, or 20.5 minus 115 there too. So heading that way. Let's move over to the next big game on the slate, the night game, or I guess the later game, 881-82 Iowa State Houston. I did make a play on this game, but I will start with Jules, who I think also has a play in this game. -3 right now. Iowa State a 3-point favorite at Circa, 3-point favorite at Bet 105 as well. -136.5 is the total in this one. Jules, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I haven't bet this one actually, Dan. I have no bets tonight. Period. Do not worry, I'm not copping out. I have plenty prepared for tomorrow.
Lovely.
But beautiful. I've just talked myself into both sides of this game in terms of taking a side. Initially at open, I saw the move towards Iowa State and said Iowa State at home. They're 13 or 14-0 at home now. They have the best net rating in the country at home. It's like better than 44. I think 44 something is their net rating at home. Number 1 in the country out of 360 whatever teams. They're a damn good home team. And I initially thought that I would back them here, and the money is going that way. But I have to be really sure about it if I'm going to fade Houston in almost any capacity, and I can't be positive here. Iowa State's coming off the big revenge win and rebound off of the Tuesday night loss at TCU in blowing out Kansas, which I think all of us were on in some form on Saturday.
Yep.
Slow start, but we got there relatively easily. Now can you Houston wasn't pushed or tested over the weekend or really over the week. They've been prepping for this one, I'm sure, whereas Iowa State kind of has to do the quick turn right around and, okay, now that we got Kansas out of the way, we have 48 hours to prep for Houston here. Houston's as good as it gets on the road, nails on the road, always, ever since, just the last, 3-4 years, Houston on the road since they came to the conference.
Yeah.
I think they've lost 4 or 5. They lost at Texas Tech. Maybe it's 5 games now since coming to the Big 12 on the road. It's insane. So it's not a strong enough spot for me to back Iowa State and be confident in them after the Saturday Kansas game. To be honest, if this gets out to like 3.5, if you made me play it, I would probably play Houston if it got that far.
Interesting. I'm interested. I'll go to CT before I get my piece here. CT, what are you doing in this game? Did you do anything here?
I did not.
Okay.
I've been looking forward to this game all weekend long because how great is this conference, the Big 12 and college basketball? It's unbelievable. Almost every night you're getting, when you see the Big 12 play, just absolutely tough teams. And you kind of see it from the top to almost, I shouldn't say the bottom, but middle of the pack there. These are all great teams. This one is tough for me. Jules and I and you we're talking about it all day long here. It's tough to come back on the Cyclones after the big Kansas win and fade my guy Sampson when they've been so tough all year long. A loss to Tennessee at the beginning of the year, and then one loss on the road, and that was at Texas Tech, another tough team. This is a team where Sampson doesn't have guys that are looking ahead, but you look at Houston's schedule here, what they have coming up. They play at Iowa State tonight, Saturday at home against Arizona, and then on Monday, a week from tonight, Big Monday, at Kansas. So, I mean, it's just such a gauntlet in the Big 12. There's just no days off. I'm kind of with Jules. Like, I kind of lean Iowa State here, but it's just so tough to bet against Houston because, like, Sampson drills it into these kids that, like, you have to zone everything out and, like, playing away from home doesn't matter. He has them up at freaking 3 a.m, and they're just built for this shit. And those freshmen, between Fleming and Sanak, I mean, they've like grown up midway through the season. They're like grown men. They're playing like juniors and seniors. So it's just tough to bet against Houston here, but I lean Iowa State. I didn't get to the window on anything in this one, Dan.
Okay, I bet Iowa State money line minus 130 last night. I think it's currently sitting most places around like minus 145, minus 150. I think that's probably pretty fair value. There were some threes on the board. They did just get wiped out. Circa was the last of the threes. I think we just went back to 2.5. So maybe we'll be getting back to that ish minus 135 ish range. Minus 135 would probably be a bet for me. I'm still seeing minus 145, minus 150 most places, but minus 135 would probably be a bet for me in this one. I like Houston, and obviously Sampson is phenomenal. Obviously, I think he's my favorite coach in college basketball. The way that Iowa State, I think, has continued to grow up this year and has taken that next leap from what they were last year, to me, it has been impressive. I mean, the addition of the play of Joshua Jefferson has been unbelievable, obviously. And I mean, look, you can't argue with what Flemings has done for Houston. I think he's completely changed what this team is, even from last year's CT. I mean, obviously, we love this. You and me were all about this fucking Houston team. But Flemings has changed them, and obviously, Sanak provides the the physicality. I think that they're going to have some trouble with that. I do think, obviously, they have a nice rebounding edge here. That's obviously the one shot that I would, that I would like that, but. Man, the consistency for Iowa State, especially at home, I like the pace that they play in. I think they're going to be able to force Houston into some bad shots later in possessions as well. I like the way that they can kind of play at a different sort of pace when they need to. And this sounds kind of crazy, but I do give the Iowa State bench a bit of an edge here, and I do think that's going to be relatively important with the rotation they're playing right now.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So again, I got a slight edge here. I bet Iowa State money line -130. I would play that up to -135. I don't see that available in market right now. I could be incorrect, but I see -145, -150 still most places. So to me, that would not be a play. -1.5, -2 would be okay, I guess. But nothing major in this game unless you have that. Our guy Rudy G checking in, by the way. Hey fellas, I don't give a fuck about college basketball, but here to support CT and the gang. Yeah, I mean, look, football's over, baby. You gotta move on to the next thing. So so that's it for me in the night slate. Anything else you guys have tonight? Any extra games? Any smaller games? Anything you guys have?
Nothing. Those are the two big ones for tonight, and we could take a look at tomorrow. Actually, you know what? Let's do a little segue here, because we're how many weeks are we away from championship week?
We're about a month. Oh, from three. I think 3 weeks away from champion. I think we're about 3 weeks away, Jules. Right?
I don't know.
A month away from the tournament. The tournament starts right around my birthday, I think, and I think it's about three weeks to championship week.
Oh, so that's for the start of it. Yeah.
I think that's about right.
I think things are shaping up to be. It's going to be an awesome tournament. I think there's a bunch of teams that are going to be capable of cutting the nets down this year, and I was really impressed with. Man, I was totally wrong, and I'm glad I didn't play it. I thought Arizona on Saturday was going to bounce back and kind of take care of business pretty easily versus Texas Tech. Man, Grant McCaslin has the Red Raiders playing at a freaking elite level right now. And I'm not standing here telling you that they're going to win it all, but shit, I like my 50-1 ticket in pocket right now because that number was just wrong a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a really good bet.
Were they down to like 20-1 or so?
I saw
they're
some
15-1 some places, man.
Today, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we all have that.
Yeah, 50-1 was a very, very, very good bet and good call by you, CT Bets. I say before we head over to tomorrow's games, we have to talk about Bet 105. CT.
Sorry, sir. This Monday opener edition of the Boston Handicappers Network is brought to you by Bet105.ag. With the most competitive odds in the business, go check out Bet105.ag. This week, Bet105 is offering the best market prices on sides and totals in all college hoops. Go bet the best prices in market at Bet105 and go check out the player prop section where Bet105 is giving out -110 odds on both sides of player props during the big game as well. An absolute must for prop bettors. Bet105.ag. It's where the pros play.
And again, I got Titan CT checking in. He's saying he's going to open a small account at Bet105. I'd like you guys to get credit for that. Use promo code BostonH. Boston H. When you open an account at Bet105, you'll get some credit for that as well.
You get a little free play for using that code too.
All right, fellas, I'm going to give out one play on tonight's slate. It's already moving, so I was going to give it out a few minutes ago. Sorry if it's long gone, but I am going to give out tonight Morgan State and NC Central under 149.5. That number is going to be disappearing soon. It looks like it was moving. I bet 150.5 earlier today. It's good to 147.5. So I would bet anything to 147.5. Anything lower than that would not be a bet for me. So there you go. All right, let's head over.
Under, Bob?
Under.
That's
right.
Got it.
All right, let's head over to the the Saturday slate. I'm so used to being the Saturday slate. Let's head over to the Tuesday slate, fellas. We'll kick it off here with 603, 604, Michigan and Purdue. Michigan, a 1.5 point favorite. Total is 156.5. I'm going to be completely transparent off the top here. I have zero takes on any of these games, so I'm going to let you guys discuss all these games, and I'm just going to host. Jules, I know you had the bunch of takes in these games, so I'll start with you on Michigan and Purdue, a big one. Obviously fading Purdue against them with Iowa, not the spot, even though it was the perfect situational spot. Didn't work out. Purdue fucking smashes them coming off the overtime victory. Now they get to host Michigan in a massive game. Again, what are you doing in this one?
Yeah, it was a perfect situational spot for Saturday on Iowa, and that I almost didn't bet it, and you guys both liked it, and I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I wish I didn't do it because Purdue's just a bad matchup for Iowa. I think Iowa, when they're out of their league, it's clear that they're the wrong side, and we'll talk about that later because they have a game where they're out of their league tomorrow, I think. But Michigan, Purdue now has to come home and quickly gather from a pretty wild segment of 2 road games. You generally go 2-2 in college hoops. You go play that wild overtime game where they probably played their best half of the season. 40-24 was the halftime score at Nebraska. They were up. They blow all that, go to overtime in a game that they easily should have won. And then Nebraska runs out of gas. They win that game late by 3, then go on the road in what we thought would be the bad spot for Iowa. Iowa just can't compete with them. They get Iowa. Now they got to come home and quickly turn around for Michigan. I think we opened this 2.5 at DraftKings. It's down to 1.5. I like Michigan laying the 1.5, or I'm waiting for the money line to come out because it'll be what, -120, 125. Michigan is probably what I'll wind up playing.
Let me see if we have a money line in here. We have -132 right now at FanDuel.
Okay, I'll see. I don't necessarily need to sound the bell, but you guys follow me on Twitter. You guys can take the analysis and use it or not. I will probably be on Michigan tomorrow. Purdue's off of all that. They're beatable at home. They have 2 losses at home. They recently got pushed around by Illinois, a team with size. Michigan has size. Purdue has size. But too. It's other teams with size that know size and skill, we'll say, that know how to get to Purdue. Purdue's 4-9 against the spread at home. They haven't been great against the number there. Michigan's 12-0 away from their own gym, 8-0 in the true road games. I just think Michigan's kind of been, they got the Nebraska test. They have the bad Wisconsin loss. They kind of cruised the last week or so, whereas Purdue's been on the road, balls to the wall. And I just think Michigan's the better team, and Purdue's beatable at home. So I'll probably be on Michigan there.
All right, CT, any thoughts on this game?
Purdue impressed me Saturday. I know they matched up well with them, and I knew the size was going to be a problem for Iowa. I did still like Iowa anyways, and I was wrong on that one. But, Dan, this is kind of a game, and chime in if you want, where now Arizona loses 2 straight. Michigan's back on top, number 1. Going on the road to Purdue, feel like they could get there, caught with their pants down here. I'm looking at the opener here, -1.5. If this gets up to like 2.5, 3, I'd be enticed to get some Boilermakers there to knock Michigan off before Duke.
Okay, all right, interesting.
Right now, nothing.
All right, yeah, and as I said, I'm just going to be doing the little hosting. Although I do like this one. So maybe I'll change my mind here, but let's head over to 615, 616, NC State, UNC. And this is going to be a line I would take a rather gander that I'm sure everyone and their mother is probably going to bet UNC in the 7 here. I like NC State laying the points here, but Jules, CT, I'll start with you on this one. Any thoughts here?
No, I'll let you guys take it. I got nothing. I haven't watched too much NC State this year yet.
Oh yeah. This might be the spot of the night, Dan.
I agree. Hold on. What side you like here?
Oh, NC State.
Okay, me too. All right.
Yeah. So, I mean, Ken Palm's got it 3. 7.5. But Caleb Wilson is out with the broken hand. Visar missed the Pitt game. He's quote, according to an article I read, improving but questionable for this game. So
he's not. If he plays, I'd be stunned.
Right. So I was going to say, I don't think he's going to play. I think that's just talk of, we're going to get him back soon. Right. I don't think it's going to be Tuesday. So UNC took way more than just the loss at Miami. That was losing Caleb Wilson and losing Visar. They look good and cover against Pitt, but Pitt is bad, real bad. So I give them no credit for that. I don't know if you care what UNC is on the road, but they're 3-4 straight up and against the spread. Losses Miami, SMU, Cal, Stanford. But just the front court talent that's going to be off the floor for UNC in this game is ridiculous. And then you have NC State, which was one of my 2 losses with Iowa on Saturday. They got smoked by Louisville last week. I think they gave up 118 points. They lost by like 40.
Dude, they've been a disaster recently.
I assumed the bounce back spot would be at home against Miami, who was coming off the big UNC win. Yep. Standard college hoops handicapping right there.
Yep.
It played out for 39 minutes, and then NC State puked all over themselves, and Miami wins that game by 1, getting fouled on a 3, down by 2, making all 3 win the game. Brutal loss for NC
needed
State.
Overtime there, too. I had the over in that game. I fucking needed overtime there.
So now you have NC State off of getting embarrassed, then playing a decent game, but puking all over themselves. This is just kind of a gotta-have-it spot against an in-state rival that is missing most of the significant top-end talent, particularly size in the front court. Yeah, Dan, people are going to see this and be, whoa, Ken Palm 3, UNC getting 7. NC State has something to prove in this game. I'm going to be all over NC State.
You playing that official?
We can do it 7 now, and
there you go.
I'll have it in a money line parlay. I'll have it a double result.
Of course you will. All right, Jules, I'm going to break my rule. I'm going to talk about this one game because
it took you one game.
This is the only game I've done anything with tomorrow. The singular game. Give me NC State -7. So maybe I'm way off here. I made the game NC State -12.5. Just shy of 12.5. So I'm way off market here. It's the only game I played. I played NC State -6.5. I have no problem playing them up to 11. I think that this is a blowout spot for them, a get right blowout spot. You mentioned the massive injuries that UNC has right now, especially the front court there. I think this is just a terrible game. I'm not going to sit here and downplay and say it's not an important game for UNC because it is. I mean, they're 8-4 in the ACC. This is a relatively important game for them for seeding wise. But yeah, I love NC State in this game. One of my favorite spots of the week for sure. Give me NC State -7. All right, fellas. Let's head over to the next game. 6:34, Wisconsin and Ohio State right now. Wisconsin, a small 1-point favorite. Most places, 158.5 is the total. I guess I should up that 158, whatever. What do you do in this one? CT, anything for you?
Probably lean Ohio State there with the level that Wisconsin's been playing at right now, and now have to travel on the road. Number seems a little short, and I think it's short for a reason. I could see the Buckeyes winning that game. Not going to take anything right now in it, though.
Okay. Jules, over to you.
Yeah, same idea. I think we opened to DraftKings. Ohio State was the favorite, laying 1.5, and that has moved. I'm not surprised people are betting Wisconsin. Yeah, I'm not surprised people are betting Wisconsin. They have a couple of the best wins of the season. Double-digit dog Michigan, double-digit dog Illinois.
Yep.
On the road, too.
Right. Yeah. So I regret not betting. I liked them Friday. I didn't bet anything Friday. They steamroll Michigan State at home.
I know, kicking myself.
They recently hosted Ohio State and were laying 4.5, won by 10 a couple weeks ago. So it's a get back spot for Ohio State too. Ohio State's off a Saturday night loss. They did one of those weird non-conference Saturday night games on a neutral, lost to Virginia, but covered by the hook, I think. So now you got them coming home, hungry for a win off the loss, hungry for some revenge on Wisconsin. I will most likely be on the Buckeyes at home here. Everybody loves Wisconsin, and they are certainly capable of winning monster games. I just think it could be a flat spot and a good spot to get the best effort from the Buckeyes.
Yeah, nothing for me in this one. I did bet Wisconsin first half and full game the other day, so that was a nice one to get in the pocket.
I was right there, and I didn't
talked
do
myself off of Wisconsin. I don't know why.
Yep.
Left it off.
Good question. Good question for one of our listeners before we head over to the next few games. What are the futures you guys have in pocket? Outside of Texas Tech, I think we have BYU from preseason.
Which you can light that one on fire thanks to me.
Yep, and with a little torn ACL action coming in the other day, I think that one is pretty much toast.
That's toast.
That's all I got. I got Texas Tech and I got BYU. I have nothing else. I know people have been loving the UConn futures. I have not really loved anything so far this year because I do think there's a little bit of a wider range or wider net of teams that can win more than most years. So I like the Texas Tech number. I think that was probably fucking fantastic. But outside of that, I have not bet anything else.
Those are the only two I have as well, Bob. What's the number on Florida right now?
That's what I was gonna say.
They have the best
while you look for that.
Yeah,
I got BYU and Texas Tech in pocket at the same numbers as you guys. The only thing I have you guys
Florida 12-1.
12-1. Dang, I thought it was a little higher.
Not enough for me.
I have some Kansas at 30-1 that I don't know if you guys have. I bought a little low on them. And I was going to say, if I were to add right now, the two teams I would be looking at would be Florida or UConn, although Florida's a little lower than I thought.
That's way lower than I thought. I thought I'd be able to get a better number there. Best front court in the country, and the guards are finally starting to play together. And man, they're fucking dangerous. I think they're going to absolutely be a big time problem in the tournament once again.
The only interesting future that I've had some interest in, I think Wisconsin 100-1 is a decent long shot bet. I mean, they've now proven they can play and win in some of these big time games. I mean, they can. Now, again, I don't think that they probably win, but I do think that in terms of the value that's currently on the board, I mean, they just beat two fucking brutally physical teams back to back. I know they lost the Indiana game, but they lost by a point, the game before that. They wiped out Ohio State before that. They've been pretty fucking tough. And they beat Michigan earlier last month, right? It was like early
19-point.
Yeah, Michigan and Illinois, both on the road.
Again, and I know
monster
do, but man, I think Wisconsin 100-1 might be worth a little nibble at some point coming up here. So that's the only team I've been looking to maybe potentially add. Anyways, all right, let's finish off because we already at 32 minutes here. Let's finish off the slate for tomorrow. 637, 638, Sparty and UCLA. Sparty a 8.5 point favorite. 139 is the total. Jules, I'll start with you. Anything for this one?
Nothing here. I'm not a big fan of either team, really. Although Michigan State is now 0-5 ATS first half. They've been a terrible first half team in their last 5 games. And UCLA is off getting spanked by Michigan, but Michigan State's off a pretty embarrassing loss where Izzo called them out too. I don't really have an angle on this one, nor am I a huge fan of either team.
Okay, CT, over to you.
I kind of like Sparty here. It was a great win versus Illinois before the Wisconsin game. But before that, you go on the road, you lose at Mini. And then before that is you play a really tough first half versus your rival Michigan. And then you kind of get doors blown in the second half. Izzo calls him out, like Jules says. Cronin, I just feel like he's just not the guy for UCLA. And I just continue to laugh at his press conferences after the game. Everything's never
bitching and moaning about the schedule.
Right.
Is ridiculous. You are in LA and you joined the Big Ten. You're going to be traveling, buddy.
And nothing's ever his fault. It's always, the school's fault, the schedule's fault, the player's fault. This looks to me like a Sparty double-digit win.
I feel that too.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to give it out. Sparty minus 8.5.
Okay. There you go. All right. let's head over to the final game on the slate now. Jules, I know you have one more, so if you want to talk about it, but I couldn't find the number on it. 645, 646, Nebraska and Iowa did open. I think Nebraska -1.5, -2 most places, but we're seeing it at pick'em right now. Total sitting 137.5. I'll tell you, I'll be on the under on this one tomorrow because I think that the under probably ends up playing in the low to mid 130s. So I do like the under in this game. But CT, I'll start with you. Anything you have in this game tomorrow?
I think you're going to see a better effort from Iowa. They match up better against Nebraska than they do versus Purdue. Do I want to get to the window there? And it's kind of ticked up. I think some spots you're laying 1.5 with the Hawkeyes, but I think you're going to get a better effort out of this Hawkeyes team tomorrow night.
Okay, Jules, over to you.
I think you're going to get a better effort. I don't know if it's going to matter. I'm starting to think this Iowa team, just anytime they are outmatched, that they're not really capable of winning those games. They're 1-5 as the underdog this season. The win was at Indiana. It was pretty impressive. I watched that one, so I have seen them play well, but I generally see them play bad. Like, they've been a home dog twice. They got smoked by Purdue and Illinois. Illinois was pretty close to as ugly. Now, they struggle with size, and that's part of the matchup. Nebraska doesn't have quite the size, but Nebraska's good, man. Like, Nebraska finds ways to hang and go to the wire with Purdue, with Michigan. They know how to deal with that. Iowa doesn't. I'm not, there's going to be times the rest of the way out where talented teams with size, I'm going to be backing against Iowa. I don't know if this is the best one because Nebraska doesn't have that elite size and Iowa's off getting embarrassed. So it's not the strongest spot in the world. If I bet it, it's Nebraska, though. They're the better team, and Iowa does not do well when it has to play a step up the more that I watch them. So this one would be Nebraska or nothing for me. I'm going to see where the number goes.
All right, final one that was on Jules' list, 653, 654. San Diego State and Grand Canyon. San Diego State, a 7.5-point favorite. 138.5 is the total. What are you doing here, Jules?
Yeah, I'm probably going to lay it with San Diego State here. Grand Canyon's lost 2 of 3. They were favored in both of the games they lost. Last 2 times they've been a road dog. They lost and didn't cover. That was at Nevada, at New Mexico. San Diego State went off the short favorite maybe a month ago, 3 weeks ago at Grand Canyon. I was on them in that game. They lost by 1, controversial finish on a call, no call. This is a pretty good revenge spot for San Diego State at home to kind of break this one open. I think that people, not quite to the same degree of UNC and NC State, but I think this might be a little bit surprising of a number. But this is the number for a reason. I think that San Diego State can break this one open. So I'll most likely be laying the points here.
Okay. Anything for you in this game, CT? I assume probably not.
Nope, nothing for me. Dan, if you could go up to the chat there. Yep. I think this is a good question for you. Rudy G's question: as someone who only bets college basketball when CT texts me and is only a very casual fan, what are your thoughts on live betting favorites and not doing anything pre-flop? Maybe just me, but it seems like you could always get better in game. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's been working recently. If you have some favorites starting off slow, and you could, there's always a shot you could get a better number. I'm not a huge in-game bettor. I'm more of a first half, second half, and full game type of guy. But Jules and Dan might have a better answer than me.
I think it depends on the size you're betting. If you're looking to get a lot down, I think it's really hard to bet in game. Not a lot of places are taking major amounts of liquidity on this type of stuff, so I think it's tough. Like I tell you, even I have a difficult time getting down a couple grand on like an in-game bet if I want to bet it in game, and I think that makes it a little bit more difficult than than betting pre-flop. So I think obviously there are times where that isn't the case and you get good numbers, and but again, you're hoping for slow starts and etc. I know guys who do very well who just bet in game, and that's possible. I'm just not the kind of guy that probably is the guy to be asking that, because I'm more of a pre-flop guy. I do a little bit in game stuff, but most of it is second half stuff and not usually live numbers if I can hold off on it. So There you go. A couple other questions to go. 8.5, the highest you go. What's the highest you go on Sparty there, CT?
I'd lay up to 9.5.
Okay. And then finally, can UMass knock off Miami, Ohio tomorrow? Just to give you an idea, I made the game Miami, Ohio minus 2.7-ish. So I would
2.5 now, I think.
I would not bet the number. To me, I think it's complete underpass. Anything for you guys in this one?
Nothing for me.
No, but to answer the question, they can knock them off for sure. Didn't they come close once?
Yep, they did.
Yeah,
they did. I would tell you probably wouldn't bet that. So yeah, just wondering because that guy gave me Belmont money line yesterday minus 120. Didn't see it all half. It got plus 700 and they won by $1 million. I mean, again, I think you're talking about betting second halves that are probably more successful in that scenario. Yes, I think that is something that you can do. I think you have to know the right numbers, key numbers for football, key numbers for basketball, certain important things I think you do when you're betting a game. So
here's a good example on the live, and I just tried to bet it and it took it off the freaking board. But Duke is losing 9-7 right now, and in game was minus 16. I just tried to bet it, and they took it off when I went to bet it. So
that's what I was going to say about this. Sometimes, and this isn't the perfect example because Duke is at home, but sometimes you'll like a favorite on the road, and that home team can keep it together for the first 4, 8, 12 minutes,
right?
Whatever it is, but not the whole half,
right?
And come out and kind of stick to their game plan until the favorite breaks away. This is all true for betting the game at halftime as well. So I'm not saying anything that doesn't apply to that, but there are games, there are situations where like that home team keeps it together for 1 or 2 timeouts before they let it get away. If you want to sit there, get a few points off of whatever the pregame number was with that, and you kind of, I would just say, have a plan. You plan to do that. I'm going to watch for this. If it happens, I'm going to take my number.
Right.
That's the way I would be looking to bet in game.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. That is it for us tonight. Quick in and out show. We may have another show this week. Live show. It'd be a very quick show, potentially either Friday or Saturday. I would not bank on it potentially, but we are going to try and do a couple 20-minute, half an hour shows here and there to kind of continue during college basketball season, NBA season, NHL, whatever. We're not going to talk about NHL, but you get the drift. Anyways, that's it for us. Anything? You guys have anything else before we head out?
That's it. I'll be live at the Merrimack at Lawler on Friday night. So if you're in the Massachusetts area, it's going to be a sold-out game. It's for pretty much whoever wins is going to win the regular season Merrimack Sienna. So come say hi.
All right, Jules, anything for you?
CT Mac.
CT Mac. There it is.
I got nothing. Good games tomorrow. Good games on Saturday.
Yeah, obviously. I love the Saturday slate. It's going to be a good one. All right, everyone. Hope you have a great rest of your week, and we will talk to you later this week or next week. Cash some tickets. Have a good one.